welcome back to Building with the Boys. It is Monday the 17th of January, what's commonly known as Blue Monday here in the United Kingdom. I'm sure in the Western world it's known as that, everywhere else not so much. But this is supposed to be one of the most depressing days of the year. Not for me. I've got a big pack of Routemaster turn up, so I'm quite happy about that. So we're going to crack on with this today. It is going to complete the chassis. So the rolling chassis will be completed by the time we finish pack number 3. And these are parts that originally were released as parts 21 to 30. There's a lot, but it doesn't look like a lot, if that makes sense, because it's the engine that we're building and the gearbox. We're adding the front axle, we're putting the final wheel on the back, so it might not look like a lot, and unfortunately I can't bring you anything shiny and bus-ish and red and pretty, but this is the base, this is what's needed. So we need to give this thing a heart, which is the engine. So that's what we're going to be doing. An exhaust is going on, a few other bits and pieces. So there's a lot to add to the chassis, but at the end of it we will have a complete rolling chassis, and then from next month onwards everything becomes a bit more bus-like. There's a lot more reds going into it. We start with the driver's cab, and I believe we start the seating next month as well, not sure. But it's a lovely thing. You can see issues packs 1 and 2, they're on the channel. If you're enjoying the build, please feel free to give us a like and subscribe, and you can see the rest of this build right through to its finish. It should be finished in October of this year. But we'll have a look at what's turned up today. Only one box today. Normally we've got 2 boxes, but again, it's 1 box, but it was a full box. I mean, they really packed it into this thing. 10 parts to build. We're going to go through each of them, and at the end of it we will have a very lovely complete rolling chassis. So wish me luck, let's get into it. This is part 1 of pack 3, or part 21 if you want it sequential. It's the real wheel, and this is the 6th wheel we've built. Not a lot I can say about it. We have to do the hot water method is what we're going for again, because this thing is solid. So we're going to submerge that in some hot water, and we're going to build this wheel, and then we are going to take the last part of pack 2, which was this wheel here. This wheel's going to touch that wheel. Then we're going to fit them to the chassis, and both rear wheels will be attached to the chassis. Okay, so that is the wheel complete. We just use the hot water method. We let it soak for a while, let it warm up, and then it slots in. It's still quite tough. You've got to push these things in, but you know, it worked. So we use the wheel from last issue, and we are going to attach this wheel to this wheel, so they should line up. And then using 3 GM screws, we are going to attach one to the other. Because we are going into metal, I'm going to use just a touch of 3-in-1 oil. This is my 3-in-1 oil. You'll see how I do this. I don't slather anything in 3-in-1 oil. It's literally, I just touch the tip of the screw in there, and it just helps on its way. I mean, you can do the method where you screw in and screw out and blow the swarf off, but it's too much messing around, to be honest with you, and it still doesn't really yield the result that I want. So you see this way, you don't really have that resistance. There we go. That didn't work. Thought that was a little too easy. Let's try that again. There we go. Pull together quite nicely. 2 more in here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the chassis, and we're going to attach these final pair of back wheels to the chassis. Then we'll have the chassis back wheels on. We've got a lot more to do with regards to engine and things like that, but we do fit the front chassis to the front axle to the chassis in this issue with some chassis arms that we've got. And a few other bits and pieces, because I mean, essentially, without the engine in it, it's a trolley, it's a go-kart. But it's a really lovely build. This I really always look forward to Routemaster turning up. So there we are. We have this this double wheel together. So we're going to bring the chassis up and attach it to the chassis. Okay, so here's the chassis that we built last issue, and we are going to use a wheel cover, which I've just, there we are. And it's only one screw that needs to, so we're going to use this piece here. We have a little washer, and we have a single IM screw. Now you'll see they do give you two. They are quite good with screws on these. I mean, compared to most part works, I think are quite generous when it comes to screws and nuts and bolts. From my experience, the only one that I think is slightly light on them is R2-D2. I don't know, it's like they're terrified they're going to run out. Right. So popping this one on there. Should be a lug. Just locate that. Okay, so I'll find a good way to film this. Right, so we have attached, there's a lug here we've attached in. We're then going to take our wheels, they are going to slot just over here like so. And then, you know what, let's flip this right over. There we are. Now using this washer that we have, that's going to go in first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch it to the end of the screw and basically screw this washer in. I'm going to take our IM screw, just a touch of 3-in-1 as before. Now I'm going to take the washer, that's going to go over there. I'm going to persuade it in there. Yeah, that didn't work. I think I might have been optimistic on my part. Okay, there we go. We've got the bite that we want. Okay, now I don't want these wheels loose, but I mean they turn. That's what I want. I don't want them spinning because I mean on a normal vehicle, the wheel doesn't spin, you know, it's not so loose that it spins, but the weight of this bus is this is going to start to turn quite easily because the weight is going to bear down on it. I'm going to take the hubcap. Now, typically they take the wheels on and off these things all the bloody time, so I'm going to fit this, but I'm not going to ram it in there. I'm going to fit it so it holds, but I'm certainly not going to force it so I'd never get it off again. So yeah, it's loosely on. Because again, as I said, they're constantly telling you to put the wheels on, then take them off again annoyingly. So for now, that's enough. So we're going to move on to part 22. 22, this will assemble the drive unit. They do give us a pair of flat nose tweezers in this. I'm probably not going to use those. I've got good, really good tweezers. But it's nice to know that you do get them. So I mean, they are, you know, as I say, they will give you everything to assemble these things. I won't bore you with the details of this one. I'm going to put this together and we'll take a look at what the drive unit looks like at the end. And there is the completed drive system. It's all very lovely. So you've got fan belts on there, drive belts. We've made this section here. Now this doesn't actually attach to anything yet. It's going to, but as of right now, we're going to put it to one side and wait for it to come back around. And now we're going to move on to part 23. Here's everything we get with part 23, or part 3 of pack 3 if you like. And this is for the braking system and the header. That is 23 done. You can see we started applying parts to the chassis. We've just held this on with some masking tape for now as instructed to. We've put the arm on for the braking system. But we are starting to add parts of chassis now, and this thing's starting to come to life. Everything you get number 24. This is going to make the gearbox casing and the connector. So we're going to put that together and we will show you what it looks like. We are so far. We've used the drive that we made in the very first part of this pack. It's looking really rather lovely. I've always loved the engine of these things and any kind of gearbox or drive system. Or just love it. It really, they really go to town on detail on these things. It's just beautiful. And an exciting development, fellas. And if I can impart some wisdom to you, there are a lot of beautiful women in the world. Not all of them will bring you a chocolate hazelnut donut whilst you're building a model bus. Choose wisely when you marry, fellas, honestly. That's my beautiful wife very kindly brought me a donut. I took a break, but now we're installed and I'm very impressed. I like this. I think it's gorgeous. Really do. Okay, and now move on to the next part. 25, this is the exhaust manifold, the crankcase and the sump. Quite a lot in this one, big hefty lumps. So it's really starting to take shape now. It really is. That is it for part number 26. Again, it's looking really rather lovely. Sorry, part number 25. 26, we're going to assemble this. We're going to put this together. It's going to look gorgeous. Here we have the completed crankcase. That is a beast. That's the largest one of these I've built. I mean, the 1mm is big, but I mean, this is a monster, and it's a beautiful thing. Here we're going to move on to 27 now. Make it fit the front axle. So that one was a bit of a bugger, if I'm honest, but there we go. We've got the wheels on. It's looking really rather lovely. So yeah, we have a full rolling chassis. On to 28 next, we're building the radiator. It's a really nice quick one. That's 28, that is the radiator built. That was simple, nice little build, all done. This is part 29, a lot of little fiddly bits in this one. We are going to be finishing off the detailing of the engine and then ultimately mounting it to the chassis. We have pack 29 complete, and we have now mounted our engine and radiator to the chassis frame, and it is looking really rather lovely. I do have some still pictures I'll show you of the engine complete with all its bits and pieces, because it is quite lovely. And then finally for stage 30 we're going to install the exhaust, and that will be it for this month. The parts you get with part 30. Now, I've been reliably informed by Jay over on Jay's channel that these things break really easily. This is the exhaust, so I'm going to be very careful, very cautious with this one, and we'll see how it turns out, and then that will be it for pack 3. And there is the exhaust installed, and you know what? It wasn't so bad. I got this up on the side at the moment. I'm going to tidy these wires up a little bit because I don't know what's hanging out underneath the bus. But you can see from this, the underside of the chassis, the exhaust goes all the way up to the engine. It's really nice, man. But that is it for this month. So let's flip it over, we'll have another look at it, and then we'll have a bit of a chat. Here is pack 3 completed, and our really rather lovely engine, and our now rolling Routemaster chassis. It really is a lovely thing. Very happy with it, and this is pretty much it for the chassis. There's more parts to go on. I mean, obviously, something's good over here. There's a fuel tank and things like that, and a few other bits and pieces. There's some rails that go along, but with regards to engine and gearbox and things like that, we are pretty much done. So next month we do start working on more the kind of interiors of the bus rather than mechanicals. But I'm very happy with that. It's really rather lovely looking. So that's pretty much it for pack 3. And I gotta be honest with you, I love Routemaster. I just do. Of all the models that turn up, this one is 3 for 3. That's 30 parts. No problems, no issues. Gone together nicely. It all looks good. Everything kind of enhances it, builds it up, and it really is a beaut. It's a dream to build. Now I know other people that built it before all sort of said, "Oh, it's a fun build." They weren't lying, man. This is a really fun build. It's really nice. And next month, in February, so pack 4, we do completely finish this chassis. So we'll have the wheel arches on, and we are going to start building the driver's cab, and you're going to start seeing some red shiny bus bits. And then after that, we really start accelerating, because we're going to build the bottom deck, and it quickly now this starts becoming visibly a double-decker bus. But I love this thing, man. It really is nice. If you are interested in getting this, you can still get this from Agora Models. There are 3 options. that you can use. There's an accelerator option, which I think is available from next month, which means you can get the first 3 packs in one hit. That's expensive. There is the 1 year option, which is 10 parts a month over a 12-month period, and there is the 24-month option, where you will still get packs of 10, but you get them every other month. So every 2 months you'll get a pack of 10 turn up. It is a gorgeous thing, it really is, and I can't recommend it enough. So if this is something you'd like to do and join us on the journey, go have a look at agoramodels.com, where they have lots of other models as well. They do the New York Fire Truck, the Terminator, if that's your thing. Some really nice models, but this is gorgeous. This really is lovely, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this grow, man. I really am. We will be back tomorrow night with our weekly catch up. Just let you know what's happening in our little world of modelling, including the new builds we're doing, which are the Titanic and the Disney Doll's House, which again I appreciate is not for everybody, but yeah, it's modelling's modelling, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I hope you did too. We will see you next time. If you enjoyed it, if you'd like to see the rest of it, please give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be able to see pack 4 right through to completion. Until next time, in a world where you can be anything, be nice. See you then.